Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And this video is about Appellation d'origine Contrôlée. Means AOC in short, which is kind of a protected label for rum. If you know rum, you have different styles of rum. We look at the French rum. Then with French rum, you have agricole and traditionnel. Traditionnel is with molasses, and we're looking at agricole. And under that, we do have the AOC, which is a very strict label. And there are many rules that you have to follow within the distillery, but you have to follow rules on the fields as well. So, for example, you're not allowed to use anything that enhances the growth of the sugarcane. You're only allowed to harvest 120 tons of sugarcane per year per hectare. Most of them do around 72 or something like that, so it's a lot less. And then you're allowed to use certain fertilizers. So usually you use the vinasse or bagasse from the distillery, which is the leftover from the production. And then you're only allowed to harvest from January 1st to 31st of August. What is also very interesting is you have to work very closely with the sugarcane fields and the farmers, or you have your own fields best of all, because you have to use the sugarcane 36 hours after you have harvested it. Yeah, so this is the sugarcane fields, and this gives you a good product for the production. So this is what you want to have. You want to have a good product at the beginning, and then you have to follow certain rules, which I'll explain to you in the next scene. So the AOC doesn't just regulate the sugarcane, but it does actually also regulate how you process it. The first thing is you are allowed to ferment between 1 to 3 days, but I'm not quite sure if that is such a reliable source, because I've seen distilleries that do a little bit less and they a lot more. So fermentation is a thing that they are looking at, but the big thing is the distillation. First of all, no pot stills, no alambics, no Scottish pot stills, just Creole column stills. And the column stills have a minimum diameter of 0.7 meters, and this is about 180, so about this. So this might be a little bit around the minimum of what you're allowed to have as a still, and the maximum is 2 meters, so a little bit more than I have, so you're allowed to have a huge still. Then you have to have at least 15 floors. So I have to have many floors, and these floors are, as we know them from the Irish or the American, you have these plates where the hole you can just, it can just flow down, and you have these humps that reduce the vapor flow upwards and give more copper contact. Although copper contact, you are allowed to use steel by building your Creole still, but you have to have, where you have the vapors, you have to have copper. So the 2/3 low can be steel, and the 1/3 up, that must be a copper still. And that is important because of the catalytic reactions that reduce the harsh bits of the final rum. When you come up at the top, you have to have between 65 and 75% alcohol. This is really low. If you know other stills in the Caribbean, there might be stills that are going up to 80-90% alcohol. That is just, you just distill it, and that is the maximum we can do, and that is the best thing efficiency-wise. But you don't want to distill everything out, because you want to have some flavors left in your alcohol. You don't want to have the 96% vodka, and 90 and 80 is still a very fine distillation with not that many flavors. So you have to be at 65-75, which transports just more flavors. Yeah. Then you go into the heat exchangers, where you heat the wine and you cool the vapors, and you go into the condensers, and then you are left with the rhum blanc. So the new make, which is also sold, but you can then add into the cask. And let's talk about these regulations about the cask right now.
The maturation and storage of AOC rum is also clearly regulated. The rum must be aged in oak barrels for a minimum period of time to obtain the AOC seal. Although an age statement is rarely found on the bottlings, there are numerous regulations on the subject. In addition, the minimum duration varies depending on the type of rum. White rum agricole, AOC, must be stored in tanks for at least 6 weeks. This storage serves to absorb oxygen and thus homogenize the rum. Rum paillé, rum ambré, and rum vieux must be stored in oak barrels for at least 1 year. This is not regulated by law, but it is very common. There are also the designations VO, very old, where the rum matures in oak barrels for at least 3 years. There is also the designation VSOP, very superior old pale, for rums, which must be stored in the barrels for at least 4 years. The last category, XO, extra old, this rum must be stored in oak barrels for at least 6 years. Attention! Cognac XO is stored for 10 years and therefore is not comparable to the names of cognac. In summary, the different names can be confusing, but this video should answer most questions. Please leave a subscription and a rating under the video, and otherwise, thank you for watching and see you next time.